and see if it works. We are on the server right now, by the way, for Game 2 of the doubleheader between teams Paragon and France. Paragon winning the North American contest by just over about 500 points, we would say. And now we're going to see if Team Paragon can reverse field and come back on the away game that's going to be played in Europe.
Indeed, and it looks like it's steady thus far. It's solid green. Okay, I'm feeling okay. Oh, I saw a shady yellow. Please don't go yellow. Nobody wants that. Actually, what server are we on, sir? Please, I gotta get someone in here.
Don't you have caster?
No.
I thought they gave it to you for a Sir Please game last time. Try it.
No, I still don't have a caster on here, it appears.
Unfortunate.
Indeed. I have Scup coming, I do believe. He sent me an emote. I'm not too sure what that is. It's JD Circle. It's a Joe Danger emoticon. Not too sure what that is.
Alright.
So, oh, he is coming. He loaded up the game. It's happening, boys.
Indeed it is. So, let's see if Kiss Me Stream can actually stay the course this time.
It looks stable. It does look stable. I haven't dropped any frames.
It's also interesting because Paragon's changing their lineup for the second game.
Ooh, who are they using? They brought in Jukes? Who's Jukes?
Migo has joined.
Oh.
So it's going to be... I think the reason they did that is because Rain plays from the western coast of the United States. And I think... Yeah, Migo moved to Canada. So I think it might be a little bit closer in terms of this. And he is going to have orange ping, so... About the same split differential we saw in the last game. And I do believe you have caster now, soon-ish.
Hopefully. Scup's in here. He's just making small talk in the server. So let's see what happens.
Did he give you caster? Or
He didn't give me caster.
Get him back in here and be like, hey.
I just messaged him like, wait, you didn't give me caster.
Oh my goodness. He just came in here to talk to France and then leave. That was about all he's got. But as we did mention at the top of as we mentioned at the top of this cast, we are going to see the second game of the series here played between teams France and Team Paragon. And France is up about, again, 500 points from that last game. Again, it's going to be hard right here on the European server. As soon as we have Scup back in here to actually give Kiss Me Admin, we'll be able to take it live. And it looks as though Paragon are going to start off on the Survivor side of things, and France are going to be on Special Infected. And let's see if Team Paragon is able to pull out the switcheroo as France did. And again, if it comes up to the point where we actually have to add the two scores between each other to see who's going to win, if it's not a clear win in France's favor, then I'm going to be quite pleased with how this is going.
Indeed. Let's hope I don't crash, because what normally happens whenever I don't close my Left 4 Dead 2 and I go into another server and try to exec my cast, it crashes me for some reason. So let's see if this works. Ready?
Based casting.
3, 2, 1.
And
I crashed, I can tell.
Of course. Okay. So that means you're going to come back and you should be okay. And once you come back, we should be ready to go. Yep. No Steam log on by Kiss Me.
Yeah. I don't know why it happens, but it happens. But we are live on Twitch. It says that I am streaming, so I know that I'm streaming. I missed some action, says Commodore. Yeah, well, you didn't actually miss anything because we didn't stream the first game. My internet was like having a seizure or something of that nature. So we actually didn't stream the first game. We actually local recorded it, and I'll be uploading it to YouTube later on. But yeah, we're going to try and stream this one. My ping and stream look good, so let's hope it stays that way.
Obviously, the routing to Europe is going to avoid the fires in Pennsylvania, am I right?
Actually, that is true. That's probably why.
It could be, honestly, depending on, at least in Left 4 Dead 2 side of things. I don't know exactly if you're routing to a Twitch server in Europe, but...
Well, no, actually, that one's in Chicago, so it still has to kind of go across PA. I'm not too sure of the exact routing, but for whatever reason, it does have an effect.
Alright then, so maybe the luck of Team France is going to carry over to Kiss Me at least. We'll see if Team Paragon can reverse their field, and we should be going live relatively soon right here. As we did mention, the lineups are just about the same from the first game, but Paragon did make a substitution. So for Team Paragon on the Survivor now, hailing from the United States, it's Verbansky, Lucifer, Adam, and Migo.
And of course, over on Team France, we have Kinum, Grin, Everlasting, and Toph. The GLHFs going out from both teams to each other. And of course, Rail's even throwing it out. Smoker pull going on. L's going to bring him off the roof. Once again, they only have 2 weapons and then 2 melees starting in that safe room. So they have to kind of play close, play tight, and shut down that first hit as well as they can with what they're given. But they will be able to take that one relatively easily with pretty much no damage going out except a little bit, sliver onto Verbansky and Jukes, of course. So let's see what else ends up happening here. Survivors continue to push their way up through the map here, though, over the camper, and they're going to make their way up to the left side of the map here. That's interesting, but there is a witch over in the playground, so I can understand the reasoning for wanting to stay away from her.
Indeed, this hit's going in. Smoker does get a nice pull out to the side right there. Hunter looking for the intercept. Tri-cap from France on a Team Paragon. Once again, this witch is going to get triggered by the jockey that is on top of Rochelle, scratching up. Actually knocking the... That was really weird. It looks like Rochelle was being jockeyed and got hit by the witch, but obviously the jockey did not fly off. Second swipe going in. The only consolation for Paragon is they did not trigger the tank, but I understand that people weren't able to watch the first game due to the fact it just got locally streamed, but France's SI was absolutely on point. And oh my goodness, the tank has spawned for France into the hands of Toph. Another hit coming in here right now. Charter going for the intercept. Tank is going to try to work his way in. Looks as though he's not going to be able to get there before the survivors get the pickup, though. He's actually right in range, deciding to roll in. Has little to no support right now, trying to find what he can onto Team Paragon. Punch going out onto Lucifer, but he's already down to 2k HP, and this could be big. Tank is looking for a recorner right there, manages to find it onto Migo, managing to hit him around as the SI is coming in right now for his support. Boomer gets a proxy room right there as the tank gets stumbled, running his way around, missing that punch onto Adam right there, managing to find the second one though, and this is actually looking a lot better as that tank hits his second punch right there for a double punch, and now he's going to get stuck and killed, but Kiss Me, risky call by France to commit it there with half to no support. The survivors weren't able to focus him down before this turned into a good situation for France.
That was actually really unfortunate for Team Paragon, actually. Or at least from what I saw, because they were taking that tank incredibly well, and then all of a sudden everyone just decided to stop shooting the tank for some reason. I mean, he was down to 1,000 HP, and he got another like 4 or 5 punches off on the survivors, but Boomer rocketing will get meleeed away and then killed off there. Grin did DC, no Steam log on, so it's probably just a connection issue with Steam, so he shall be back in a few seconds, hopefully. But yeah, that tank was going very well for Team Paragon. And I mean, once again, they need things to be turned around here, because as we saw in the previous game, which you guys on the stream didn't see, but everyone on YouTube will see, pretty much they got beat up on their home server, Team Paragon did. And Team France ended up coming out on top of that game by around, what was it, like 500 points? A little bit under it?
Around, yeah, or a little bit over maybe. I mean, it was a really, really good game from the SI side of things, I think, for both teams. France still scored over about 3k points. Paragon was about 2.6. And, I mean, France's SI was just on point the entire time. Paragon really weren't able to maximize the ping advantage at all because of France's cohesion. So, obviously, with a ping disadvantage now, they're going to have to try to wipe France with their SI. And it looks like that charge is going to get stumbled by the door there. Jockey does land onto Lucifer, who is being drugged forward. Clear does finally go out, and Adam's going to get put back in the spit. That's going to be the rest of his health bonus gone.
Indeed it will be. Adam having a little sliver of solid left, but that's really nothing to be spoken of. One little common scratch would pretty much wipe that away. But now they have to pretty much just rely on protecting Verbansky. The damage bonus is still pretty great right now, though, up at around 60%. Pills down to 25, but they might end up popping that last set of pills there in a couple seconds, as this last hit looks like it's about to gear up and come in. Spitter, Jockey, Hunter, Boomer. So a weak 2-2. Nice double boom landing, though. This can open up something for the other two SI. They might have a little bit of a hard time landing, but that double boom landing gives them a couple targets to go after. Beautiful melee skeet there by Rochelle, and the Jockey getting skeeted as well by one of the guns of the survivors. Really well done there by Rochelle. Who is that? Lucifer? What a wonderful melee skeet on that Hunter.
And they really didn't take a whole lot of damage there at all, so they're going to be able to get into the safe room. And Kiss Me, this looks pretty similar to what France did, almost to the number on the other server.
Indeed. I mean, we haven't seen Team France go. They could make the safe room right now with 4 greens.
Yeah.
I mean, they're perfectly capable of doing it. So I'm not going to, put it past them by any means. I think they're a great team, and they can make the miracles happen, to say the least.
They really can. I mean, obviously, France is playing ahead right now, but this tank from Paragon, again, to catch people up who didn't see the first game due to the fact that Pennsylvania was burning, we couldn't actually get it out there. The tank for France on the first map that was fought in the same spot actually did manage to wipe with a tri-cap, which gave France about a 400-point lead going into the second map on the other server. We're going to see if Team Paragon can replicate that or find another way to get a maximum amount of damage there. Because again, the tank that rolled in did a pretty good amount of work, but obviously the survivors took a full in-cap from that Witch and the tri-cap from France that landed. So if Paragon's SI can tighten itself up, which is really what we didn't see in the last game. Again, France was suffering a little bit, just a tad, from the ping disadvantage, and Paragon obviously making the safe room here is a good start. But Paragon's SI does need to be a little bit more in sync, in my opinion. We'll see if the rotation out of Rain and the the stepping up of Migo will do anything to either increase or depreciate that. But again, I'm really interested to see how it goes.
Definitely, and we shall see the round going live here in a couple seconds here as Migo, aka Jukes. I should haven't changed his name, but I just want to make sure the Twitch is working, so I'd rather focus on that. But yeah, I'm still like my mind's still like throwing it back to like that map 4 charge by Team France.
It is also 4 a.m. in France, I would like to mention.
That is true. I don't know why they chose to play so late. I mean, they had like another 4 or 5 days. Well, 4 days.
That was my question to Adam today. Like when he said that, I think I was talking to either him or Verbansky, and I was like, "Yo, like your guys' match on the weekend, right?" Just to figure out where they scheduled it. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's tonight." And I was like, "What?" And it's like 8:30, and it started at 2:30 a.m. European time, French time, and like for them to be up at 4 a.m. to play this match on a Wednesday night is really peculiar. But again, I guess that's the way France wanted to roll it. Obviously, Everlasting doesn't have a problem because he's North American, but for Toph, Keenum, and Grin, it's going to be a late night, obviously, because we're only still on map 1 here.
Yeah, I would expect them to have work or something in the morning, and I mean, they're going to be playing until they have to pretty much go to work or wake up for it. But there we go, Migo disconnecting. I don't know if they're going to be doing another player trade-in, or I don't know what the deal is. Juked. Rails, you win. But yeah.
They want me to ring.
Oh, God, no.
I'm not doing that.
No.
No.
But the score differential coming in this game, guys, was a little bit under 500 in favor of Team France. So Team Paragon did get beat on their home server by a little bit, not too badly, because if you think about it, 500 points over the course of 5 maps is easily recoverable. So we'll see what they can make happen here. If they can make a wipe happen here, that's going to be huge, because then they're going to be denying Team France not only the distance points, but then obviously any health bonus, damage, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, depending on who gets the tank and if they are able to, like, fight it in the same area that France forced Paragon to fight in, it could actually do a pretty good amount of damage. But I think what France is going to want to do is probably fall back to the starting area near the safe room if they can take that Witch cleanly, because I don't think they have the ability to safely push out to the left-hand house where people usually like to fight it a little bit further forward. They might try, they might prove me wrong there, but if anything at all goes wrong at the Witch, or if they get boomed, then it's going to turn into a much different situation, and we could see it fought in one of maybe 3 places.
Yeah, a boom in that area spells disaster, because there's so many objects around you can't really kite common efficiently, because you're either up on the playground set, and then you're like, all right, well, I gotta drop down at some point. Now there's common all below me, or you keep juking around, and there's really nothing that can really help you if the tank commits and once again that good boom lands. But regardless, we are going live here with the second half. Once again, guys, thank you guys very much for tuning in. Yet again, the first game was not streamed, but this one obviously will be. Nice triple boom actually starting out here. 14 Paragon onto Team France, and that's going to leave 2 of the melees with boom on them. Hunter landing onto Ellis. Spit actually manages to connect on top of the front or the air ventilation shaft there. That's going to be actually a nice bit of damage coming out for that hit. I mean, that's you can't wag a stick at that. That was pretty good.
Excuse me, kiss me. I can wag a stick at whatever I please.
You know what? I'll throw a stick at you.
That hit, I've been hit by worse. That first hit was pretty good for them to come out with on a 2-2 right there. Anyway, Jockey, Smoker, Boomer, and a Hunter for the next hit for Team Paragon here. Again, yeah, 40 damage, actually over 50 damage for a 2-2 is pretty good, but now France actually going to bait this out a little bit. Grin moving forward, Arc Boom coming in from the roof. Grin's actually really split right now. He's going to get pulled. Nice 2-cap going out. Grin did manage to get the pick on that Jockey, but he's completely separated. They're going to try to clear the tongue, but not before he loses about a quarter of his health.
Indeed. So really 2 beautiful hits here by Team Paragon. So the tank is coming up here very shortly, though. And they also have that Witch to deal with. The thing is, the tank spawns pretty much at that Witch. That's a weird pull by there by Alice. And actually, they might get a second hit as well. In fact, that's going to be an end cap out of Grin. That was a weird crown. He was so close there when he shot off that first shot at her to actually start the crown. And if Toph moved too much, what?
11 damage.
I think that was the initial shot he did. But anyway, SI working in here, trying to delay it. Nice pounce there on the coach, going to be a bit of a DP. Boomer walking and gets a tri-boom on the survivors. And the thing is, if the survivors continue moving forward, the tank spawns at like the middle of the sandbox. And actually, no, it's over by the tree. I thought it was a sandbox. Oh, I guess someone.
Yeah, they have to go back.
Yeah, I thought someone. I guess someone on Team Paragon actually like moved forward more than I thought or that I saw. But regardless, yeah, they're gonna start backing up here past the alarm car. They will have this horde trickling in though. Smoker's tongue getting broken on the side of the fence as the survivors cross back over the camper. Tank up in the hands of Verbansky for Team Paragon. And this could be, once again, a huge tank. If he can get a crap ton of damage or even the wipe, that's going to pretty much make this game tied going from here on out.
Nice boom going out, single boom. Tank did hit the alarm car, and obviously Smoker getting a pull to the front. Here comes the car hit as well. Oh my goodness, that's actually pretty close, depending if the tank can actually get there before Nick gets away, but he does pop the boomer and does move away. I envisioned that car hit going a little bit higher and just slamming someone in the face, but unfortunately for Team Paragon didn't, and fortunately for Team France, they were able to dodge, and looks as though Verbansky's going to move back and try to keep sight on the fence right now.
Indeed, and we will see what the next set of spawns will be. I believe there will be a boomer somewhere in this rotation. Hunter, Charger, and Smoker. No, I'm a liar. Thanks, Left 4 Dead. But regardless, they're going to go ahead and rotate over to the alarm car once again from this range. The alarm car won't be triggered by any shots. Hunter getting blasted out of there, though. Rock going in, not finding a target. Smoker's tongue not connecting on a coach either. Going to go ahead and break on the car that's in front of him. Smoker does eventually get a pull onto Rochelle, though, but once again, it gets cleared quick. No damage going out. And survivors are actually going to start LOSing inside of the cafe, it seems. No, they're going to stay on the roof. They're not even LOSing. They're not even afraid of him.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is they are bleeding right now because Grin's Witch Crown was what it was. They're going for the Deagle chip, it looks like, at least trying to get a few shots. Boomer spawning up, getting a single boom in the back once again. Looks as though the tank is going to try to go for a Rock here. Hunter trying to pounce his way around. Rock does get skeeted. One survivor is stepped down below. Charger going in. Ooh, almost turning around and getting the charge off right there. Rock barely missing one of the survivors who was on the side. Grin did have to commit another set of pills from this. And now the survivors, I think, are going to drop back into the LOS because they realize they're bleeding. They committed a set of pills just due to bleed. And now Verbansky's going to have to try to keep sight on them or decide to commit here. It looks as though he is going to be forced second.
Indeed, he will be down a 5% rage. Survivors coming their way back to the rooftop as they know that he is probably moving in a little bit here. And actually, he's going to go backwards again.
He's getting another car.
I hope he is. It looks like he might be doing a rock tank. And he could, if they throw this hit in, they're definitely risking going AI or making him commit a very bad time. Boomer does land onto Coach Oak. That's going to draw a little bit of horde onto him. And yeah, it looks like he's going to go ahead and commit now with this horde. It has committed a little bit late, though. Coach is going to go ahead and climb back on top of the roof, though. So all the horde has to climb back on the roof now. Tank is up there, though. Jockey with a smoker getting spawns now. Tank down to 98 HP. Punches Coach over towards the dock. Doesn't kill him. Jockey latching onto Rochelle. And now it's Coach versus the tank. Verbansky. Oh, Coach walked off the edge.
That's a really good play. I think that's a really good play by Everlasting right there. Hunter is going to land, however. Tank is going to have to roll his way back in, find the survivors right here, gets a nice punch onto Grin, and another punch onto Nick. I honestly think, even though he's going to take some damage from that, that's a great play by Everlasting. The reason I say is because even though that happened, the tank was low enough, and the other survivors were able to clear the cast, and there was no way he's getting death punch. He got ledge hung instead. That's a really heads-up play.
Indeed, and the thing is, though, actually, when you ledge hang yourself on the dock, for some reason, you take water damage as if you were drowning as well. So,
right.
Yeah, he kind of took like double damage there for a little bit, but still, that's better than obviously getting, better than a death punch. And I didn't even actually think of that at first. I was like, he just walked off. I'm assuming that was by accident, but then I thought, once you started saying it, I was like, oh, he just did it to, save himself from a death punch. But regardless, another attack coming in, though. Jockey getting obliterated before even hitting the ground. Charger pretty much just sticking the landing on Coach, and that's going to be a spit going on top of it.
Wow.
Everlasting dropping down to 7 HP, and he'll be on the brink of taking an incap here. And right now, their health bonus is actually beating Paragon, but albeit barely, and it's probably going to drop down even more here before saving him.
They have a whole map still to get through, too, and they already have 2 people perma-slow with the other 2 bleeding. I mean, this is going to give Paragon a good amount of hits, unless France are able to salvage a couple of those pills. Keenum, interestingly, on top of that fence as well, just trying to get a little bit of overhead position there on the Common and the SI that are coming up. We should see a hit coming in from Paragon. Indeed, we do. Hunter's still bouncing his way around. Boomer's going to land as well. Spit's going to go down on top of Everlasting, almost getting the in-cap. A little bit of a misplay there, in my opinion, because I think that Hunter did land for a split second. They could have gotten a little bit more damage. I get they were trying to go for the in-cap, but obviously because it's the Ace Mod Spit, it doesn't do as much damage immediately. And right now, if I'm Paragon, I'm a little bit frustrated because that tank did a really good amount of work, but France still has a pretty good amount of bonus and are still making the map.
Yeah, and they're playing really tight with the survivor or with their survivor round right now. They barely took any damage at the last hit. Kinham was actually just checking inside the building, looking through the windows for any pills. I bet you there was one in the back room by the bathroom. There's like always one in there for some reason. But regardless, we'll see Nick checking out the garage sale. Everyone's looking for those sets of pills, not being able to find anything as of just yet, though. And Everlasting still on the brink of taking an in-cap. Charger working his way in, does get land onto Nick. Spill goes up top of that. That's going to be an in-cap on the top, I do believe. Oh, and even the alarm card getting triggered there by the self-clear that Rochelle just did. Obviously good on her, she got that clear, but the alarm card does go off because of it. And that's going to draw in some horde that could end up with an in-cap happening on a Kocha, which would really be bad for them. Because then they don't want to be in-capped in this alleyway right now.
Yeah, this is already, Paragon's bonus has officially beat theirs on the first map right here. So again, we're going to see the away team leading into the second round. And this horde is going to keep trickling in from the back. The thing is, Everlasting, when he goes down, that's going to affect the damage bonus. When anybody else even gets hit, it's going to affect the damage bonus. And then Keenum still has a little bit of health. Nice shut down that Boomer, though. In an open field like this, they need to try to get that pullback and make sure that it lands. Try to go for the DP charge. Not going to land. Everything's actually getting shut down right now. And France are still, even though they're so slow, they're just limping. And the fact that they weren't able to get an in-cap on Everlasting Kiss Me, that's huge.
Yeah, that's a really big problem for them, and they're going to go ahead and walk their way into the safe from here. I'm really surprised Everlasting did not take an in-cap at all, but they're going to walk away in the safe from yet again, and it's going to be around a 40-point win here for Team Paragon, but that's not that big of a dent in that 500-point difference that they really need to start working into.
Still, though, I mean, the fact that they're leading is going to give them a little bit of momentum going into map 2. But I would have really liked to see some kind of wipe right there. Like, okay, yeah, the tank did enough work, and, you know, Everlasting making that decision to drop back off the dock and not get death punched, be that as it may, the fact that they weren't able to get a single in-cap on him from a scratch of anything, I understand they were trying still to hit regularly, but the reason I keep harping on that is due to the fact that that would have impacted the damage bonus. And the thing is, every single point that they get here, because they're playing on the EU server, they really, really need to maximize. That's the word for it. And France did a really good job keeping it together right there. Even though they were slow, they shut down the hits they needed to and made the map.
Indeed they did. So we'll move into the second map now, guys. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in. You were watching the Bleed Out Tournament, round number 2, Hard Rain, the map of choice here. And Team France taking on Team Paragon. And actually, I'm noticing frames dropping. Oh, God. It's happening, boys.
Oh, no. Here we go. It's gonna, the fires have intensified, they've moved to a different spot, and are now trolling Kiss Me's router.
1 minute, guys.